Tennessee man charged with kidnapping, murdering Holly. Bobo. Man, 29, is charged with kidnap and murder of nursing student Holly Bobo, 20, who was last seen being dragged into the woods in 2011. Holly Bobo went missing on April 13, 2011 when she was 20 years old. She was last seen by her brother walking into the woods behind her Darden, Tennessee home with a man wearing full camouflage. On Friday, 29-year-old Zachary Adams was arrested on charges of aggravated assault and investigators searched his home. Danielle Darnell, who grew up with Adams, told police he made comments about Bobo in the past year. Darnell says Adams stalked Bobo on a raccoon hunt a week before her disappearance. Adams is being held without bond after being charged with first-degree murder and especially aggravated kidnapping. He is set to be arraigned in Decatur County Court on Tuesday. A 29-year-old man has been charged with murdering nursing student Holly Bobo, nearly 3 years after the 20-year-old went missing in Darden, Tennessee. Zachary Adams was arrested Friday on charges of aggravated assault, while police issued search warrants on his properties in nearby Holiday, Tennessee. Wednesday afternoon, District Attorney Hansel McAdams announced that a grand jury had indicted Adams on charges of first-degree murder and especially aggravated kidnapping. McAdams would not say whether Bobo's body was found on Adams' property. At this afternoon's press conference, Tennessee Bureau of Investigation's Director Mark Gwynn says members of staff and the FBI spoke with the Bobo family after the indictment, and says they were torn up over the news. Obviously they're devastated. They've been devastated for 3 years. But hopefully this is the beginning of closure for the Bobo family and they deserve that, Gwynn said. Danielle Darnell, who grew up with Adams, says she was interviewed by police on Friday and told them Bobo encountered Adams and friends out on a raccoon hunt a week before her disappearance. Holly was on stage and walking around the coon hunt and they basically followed, stalked her a bit. Darnell said Karen Bobo even went up and introduced herself as Holly's mom. Darnell says Adams made a few comments about Bobo in the past year to close friends, and that she and others reported the comments to the TBI. I do believe he is involved along with 3 others. I just know from things I've heard, she said. TBI Director Gwynn held a press conference Friday afternoon, and said he wouldn't be revealing details about the new search so as not to jeopardize the vital new information they've collected. This is a very important time in this investigation. We're not going to say or do anything at this point to interfere with this investigation, said Gwynn. Hopefully we'll be able to return Holly home safely to her parents. That's our goal. They have not named Adams as a suspect in the disappearance yet. But neighbors weren't surprised to see authorities searching the reportedly unemployed man's property. Zach has always been in trouble. He's on drugs, really high. He has hurt his grandparents and a lot of people around here in different ways, Ann Laymans said. The search of Adams' property began Friday, but switched to the property across the street the following day. His house is located approximately 15 minutes from Bobo's home on Swan Johnson Road where she was last seen. Locals say Bible Hill Road closely connects both Swan Johnson Road and Adams Lane. On Saturday the search seemed to focus on an abandoned building and what appeared to be a well on the property across the street. A dive team was brought in as well as cadaver dogs, while investigators took pictures and scoured the wooded areas. A small bobcat excavator was brought in on Sunday afternoon, and dirt was also being sifted on the property. TBI Director Gwynn says the search will continue in the coming days, despite an impending ice storm. Terry Brumley, a close friend of the Bobo family, is one of thousands who have aided in the search for Holly over the past 3 years. She told the Jackson Sun that the woods in front of the Adams home were searched before, but never the home itself. Brumley says Bobo was not friends Adams or even friends with his friends. Meanwhile, about 400 friends and family gathered at Corinth Baptist Church for a 12-hour vigil Saturday. The vigil was planned before the recent developments, which church officials take as a sign of divine intervention. "We're praying for Holly and her well-being, that she will either be able to escape from her captives, that's number one, that her need be met throughout the day," Pastor Don Frank said. "At this point we still believe that she's alive. Every time that they have a search and they don't find her, that gives us evidence that she's still out there," the pastor added.